Hi, you having a great day? I certainly hope so. Now, this is Cameo, and what people on Cameo do is they take all this, there's words written right between the lampshade. That's where they sit on my screen. And they remove all those words and roll in a little ball and throw it back at the screen. And it's about this long, about 30 seconds. Well, hey, Susie, happy birthday from me. I hope you have a great one. Yeah, okay, it's over. So, in fact, Cameo even sends these little messages out. Just make Susie's time is up in 24 hours. Just spend 30 seconds and make her day. Wrong. Okay. So, it's very important to me that I read the written word because that's where everything is. It's where all the emotion lives. So, let's go find out who this is from, who wrote what, and who it's to. You ready? Book by Michael. For Michael. Oh, okay. I guess you're Michael. Am I Michael? No, I'm me. Okay. It says here. So, Michael, you booked this for yourself. Okay. I was touched by Jim Steinman's death. Well, a lot of people were. Some of us in very strange degrees. For over a day and a half, I didn't show any kind of emotion. And then all of a sudden, I started this Rolling Stone interview about Jimmy, and it just all hit me at once. It was like a giant wave. And I hung up the phone and started screaming, and I had to get somebody to help me. And that moment was awful. Jim in 2007 was supposed to produce Bat 3. He had 2 minor strokes, and he had open heart surgery. And it was a triple bypass they did on him. So he did not have the energy or he wanted to do it, he just couldn't. But I don't know, Sonnenberg was weird. So anyway, they got Desmond Child to do it because Desmond had taken over one of Bonnie Tyler. Desmond took over for Jim on a Bonnie Tyler record. Jim started it, but didn't want to deal with it anymore. So Desmond took it over. And we were going to why. So anyway, it was a shame that Jim was not there for Bat 3 because some of the things that Desmond did without my knowledge were just unbelievable. And by the time that I had heard it, the record company had already heard it. In fact, Desmond mastered it and didn't tell me he was mastering it in LA at the A&M studios, and had people from the record company there. Well, I took it to New York and had it remastered. And they gave us a hard time and didn't want to deal with it. But his music, it was really Jim's music on Holding Out for a Hero and stuff like that. But anytime we worked together, and even on some of Bat 3, it was, and I'm not taking anything away from Jim, trust me, but it was created by Jim and myself. I had a huge impact and bearing on these songs. Even to the first one I ever did, More Than You Deserve. Because in the second verse, I took up the octave on the second and fourth line. But not this the way it was written. I added something in the middle of it. I added a bar at the end that's here and there. And then I took the whole thing up the octave at the end. And that's not how it was written. And I changed the arrangement ever so slightly. Did a lot of arrangement changing on Bat. In fact, Jim didn't even go to the studio when we were cutting the track of All Revved Up. He didn't want, I guess he didn't want to argue. So he just let me run with it. Hated it, but now he likes it, but he did like it. But Jim, since about 2006, 2007, has been ill. In the last 7 years, after a completely crippling stroke, he couldn't walk, he couldn't talk. I mean, he'd walk, it was very sad. And Mary Beth is nurse for 7 years, literally, and everybody says it kept him alive. She kept him alive, and he kept himself alive. He wanted to live. And he pushed till the very end. His body was just so weak. He couldn't mentally even say no. But Jimmy's mind was always there. He got a little childish at the end. Didn't want people to come there, except for I was able to go. A couple of times, the drummer from the first tour was able to go, and then Jim didn't want to see him anymore. We talked to him on the phone. Joe and I both tried to make Jim laugh. That was most important. Making Jimmy laugh was very important to us. And let me read what you wrote. I was touched by Jim Steinman's death. So was I. His music and yours are the most articulate, creative, and popular music. Well, Jimmy, and you're right. It's just that you took the time to try to understand it. Most people don't want to work hard with their music in general. That's why, silly disco music was hit. They just wanted to hear the beat. It's like the old Dick Clark show. The beat's fantastic. I'll give it, I can dance to it. That's all that mattered. And I says, you have a degree in music composition. Well, I guess by now I must have a degree as well. I care. My musician friends care. Taking money from this and do something. We do. We have a fund that I give to that we've created. And so, Michael, thank you for caring about Jimmy. Jimmy was my best friend and has been since 1972. And 73, 74, 73 he was out in LA with me doing Rocky Horror. He didn't do Rocky Horror, but he was there. We'd go to dinner and it's all these people, meet Cher and David Geffen, and goes at the restaurant right next door. And what's her name? I am woman, hear me roar. Whoever that is. I sit down with Cher and David Geffen. That's when Cher was going with David Geffen. And whatever her name was said, no, you can't sit here. You got to go. And Cher went, no, it's fine. You sit. And David Geffen introduced Helen Reddy. And Cher goes, something about, don't you need to take care of your son or something? And Helen Reddy just got angry that I was sitting there. But it was great. And later on, Cher did Dead Ringer for Love with me. And, but Jimmy was there, and those were great days. Jimmy wasn't there when Elvis showed up, which was a drag, because Jim and I were driving down 3rd Avenue in the Honda that I bought with money we got, and going to a movie when it came on the radio that Elvis Presley had died. And Jim and I really took that hard. Neither one of us, we went to the movie, but we didn't know what the movie was doing. We were so emotionally upset about Elvis dying. And I went to Graceland, not with Jimmy, later on, and with an actor named Dermot Mulroney, who's in a lot of stuff. But he looked like a homeless hippie. I was embarrassed to be with him, but he was great. At first I was embarrassed, and I just went, oh no, this guy's just smart and good. But that was weird. His girlfriend was Katherine Keener. She's won an Oscar now. That was one of her first movies, and she played my wife. It was Gun Embedded in Loose Handbag. That's what it was. So it was very cool. So thank you for caring about Jimmy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, I'm going to say this to you, Michael. I love you. God bless you. And never stop rocking. Yes. Now, Michael, I love you. God bless you. And do something with your musical degree in composition. Write something for the people that'll stand up to the test of time. Put your mind to it. You can do it.